Hey guys, welcome to my points prediction for the TMNT update. This is just going to be a short video gathering my thoughts around what I would like to see in the latest update. These aren't the points that will be happening, but this is my predictions for that update coming up. So one thing I want to start off with is Mixtures Workshop from +1 to 2. So it's currently at 1 point, and I want to see this card get nerfed to now be 2 points. So a quote that I've included here is, this card is Black Lotus every turn in my deck. And this is Tombot saying this in 2020 after he won a Mox Emerald for the Winter Mox tournament during COVID. So this deck has been strong for a large number of years, and it's been propelled forward by the strength of Mishra's Workshop. So this card in opening hands is able to set you much ahead of your opponent, either playing any stacks pieces or just playing above curve. So two ways you can kind of, break symmetry inside of Magic is getting ahead in cards or getting ahead in mana. Mishra's Workshop does the mana portion of that at such a rate that is so strong that I believe this card should go to 2 points. There is much more to say. This card is just very obscenely strong, and I do want to see it go to 2. Doesn't mean it has to happen in this update, but eventually I do want to see this card go to 2. And also the next card I want to talk about is Fast Bond. So I want to see Fast Bond going from 0 to 1. So this card got recently depointed, and this card is in the lands deck. Like, it makes it's part of a combo including Zirin Orb and Crucible of Worlds, allowing you to gain infinite life, infinite mana, and then able to play all of the lands in your deck through, either Surveil lands, milling your entire library, and then shifting woodlands, able to copy a winning piece from there as well. So this card isn't an insane combo inside of lands, and it should exist inside of that deck. But what I do want to address inside of this combo and this card as well is the fact that it's very splashable inside of a number of other decks as well. So we have been seeing some decks come up like Ang Walks or Nadu Walks that's playing Fast Bond as a free combo inside of there as well. Maybe not necessarily Nadu Walks, but we've been seeing like Nadu Fast Bond combo, and we've been seeing Breach Fast Bond combo, and I just want to reduce the ubiquity inside of decks playing Fast Bond, and I want to see it more honed in towards the lands archetype where it really belongs and it shines. So I do just want to point it based on ubiquity and to reduce the amount of decks playing it, because this card is very warping. So much like Mishra's Workshop and how it warps the game if it's in your opening hand, Fast Bond warps the game if you're able to play it on turn 1 and get ahead of your opponent by playing more lands than them and get ahead in that mana advantage, much like Mishra's Workshop. The next card that I want to address is Nadu Winged Wisdom. I want it to go from 2 to 3 and get an additional point. This card, it doesn't win the game necessarily immediately when it enters the battlefield, but when it is paired with a Encore creature, like a Nomads or a Shaman, you're able to effectively win the game immediately. So you're not killing your opponent that turn sometimes, unless you have a Finale of Devastation and a Spring Heartland Tuco to propel that strategy forward, playing your Guy's Cradle and making a bunch of mana, going for a kill in that way. We do see that as part of the combo kill with this card as well, but something that I want to address is this card also just has a lot of feels bad moments for the opponents that are having to verse it. So much like a lot of combo decks in the format like Thassa's Oracle or like Breach or Storm, a lot of the decks have an instant win. So once a Tendrils of Agony is on the stack, your opponent is dead. Once a Thassa's Oracle and a Demonic Consultation resolve, you're dead. What Nadu does is it makes you sit there and watch the combo for, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, and you're just sitting there watching your opponent playing Solitaire. And that doesn't create a lot of good, feels good moments, and it creates more feels bad moments in that regard as well. So one thing I want to address is Nadu taking up a lot of time in tournaments, and to reduce it taking up a lot of time and adding a lot of minutes, potentially even an hour to a tournament over the course of a day for a 6 to 8 round tournament, this is going to add a lot of time to the tournament itself. So to reduce a lot of feels bad and to reduce a lot of time constraints inside of the format and tournaments as well, I want to see Nadu going from 2 points to 3. The next card I want to address is Forthia Lingus, going from +1 to 2. This card is very, very splashable and very, very strong. So if you're playing a Jeskai deck, a Mardu deck, a Boros Legends deck, a Naya deck, anything that contains red or white, one of the first points you're probably going to put in your deck is Fourth Eolingus. This card is just so above rate for what it does, introducing the Monarch for card advantage, introducing many bodies into the game as well with all of these 2/2 human knights with Trample and Haste, immediately just attacking in and creating such a disadvantage for your opponent for only 1 point. I feel like this card overperforms for its point value. So one thing I would like to see is Fourth Eolingus going to 2 points to reduce its splashability and its ubiquity in the format as well, because it is just one of the first points you would consider when building a red or white deck is, I should probably play Fourth Eolingus. And so to make it a decision rather than an obvious choice to play Fourth Eolingus, I would like it to get nerfed and go from 1 point to 2. Hey, throw green a bone. I would like to see Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath go from 2 to 1. I wanted to see it depointed. Green mid-range decks have been struggling to battle the ever-present, ever-strong Grixis decks. Grixis has the most efficient threats, the most efficient answers, disruption, hate, creatures, removal, everything. I want to see Sultai and green-blue decks that are mid-range decks rather than combo decks. I want to see like Sultai mid-range be able to contend with the likes of Grixis, because they don't typically have a way to exile creatures in play. They only have like destroy spells. And so Uro is able to get that value and able to be, escape from the graveyard to get extra lands and life. And with that 6/6 body, it's able to take advantage of low resource games and get you a few more cards and able to take over the game in that way. So one thing I want to see is Uro going down to 1, because comparatively we do have Flage, which is the red-white Titan as well. Flage is 1 point, Uro is 2 points, and I don't think they're all that different in power level. I think they're either roughly the same, or even both of them should go down 1 point. But that's a discussion for another time. I think Uro deserved to go down to 1 point, because the green-based like Dimir decks need a bone. Throw green a bone. They desperately need something like this to fuel their mid-range plan. Uro at 2 points is just really unplayable. Uro at 1 point is a large consideration. So when talking about point levels and what 7 points you're going to play in the format, when you're thinking at Uro at 2 points, I don't think it's all that powerful. So I do want to see Uro go down to 1. And those are my predictions. So I want to see Mishra's Workshop going +1 to 2. I want to see Fastbond going from 0 to 1. And I want to see Nadu and Fourth both gaining a point as well. Nadu going from 1 to 3. And I want to see Fourth Eolingus going from 1 to 2 as well. And I want to see Uro going down to 1. So these are my thoughts. These are my predictions. These are not the points announcement coming up, but it's something that I desperately want to see in the format is a lot of changes like this. So thank you for watching, and I'll be doing this for the next set as well, for the next points announcement. So thank you and goodbye.